So I just discovered something that made me sick to my stomach, and not for the obvious thing. I read a story about life in the 1400s, and there was a lot of parallels to what happened back then and what's going on now that made me realize that, yeah, sure, the technology has changed, comfort has changed, but human beings are still the same that we were back in the 1400s. And it's fucking disgusting. So I guess I should get into this story. I was sitting here just watching YouTube, thinking to myself, and for some reason, the thought, hey, I remember hearing once that Vienna Boys Choir kids were castrated. Is that true? Is that really true? Let me Google it. So I Googled it, and I started reading a very informative article that the writer himself, he was in a boys choir until his voice broke and he couldn't sing, I guess, treble, I think he was saying, and vibrato. Apparently a young boy singing in those notes is like will move people to tears from what I hear. I don't fucking know, but that's what I read. And he's going on, how like he starts talking about how back in like the 1400s, a boy he probably wouldn't hit puberty until 15 to 17, and that's when his voice would break. But nowadays it's probably about 13 to 13 and a half due to obesity and dieting habits and lack of uh, activity and stuff like that, which makes sense. You probably hit puberty faster if you just sit on your ass all the time and don't do anything, because your brain is like, okay, well, not doing anything. What if we click this on? Maybe it'll get them to go up and do something. But yeah, and then it got to the point where he started talking about the castrati, and these parents would purposefully, willingly mutilate their own children on the promise of fortune and fame. And they would say excuses like it was a farming accident, or it was a necessary medical procedure, or any other excuses. Sound familiar? All for the purpose of fortune and fame. They would willingly mutilate their own child and make up excuses for it. And then you look at all these parents of all these trans kids that are coming out of the woodworks now. They all got YouTube channels or TikToks or Instagrams or whatever, all mutilating their 4-year-old, giving the 4-year-old drugs and everything because the 4-year-old decided to play with a pink pony once, so he wants to be a girl, and I'm going to help him. These are sick fucks that are doing it, and then they're recording it and putting it on YouTubes and Instagrams and stuff to make a buck. They're looking for fortune and fame. 400 years later, people are doing the same damn thing, mutilating their own children to try and make a fucking buck. Jesus Christ. When is this shit gonna stop? This is morally wrong. Leave the kids alone.